Good evening, everybody. At this point in time, I'd like to turn it over to student representative comments.
The SGA talked about the February 22nd drinking, drugging, and driving field trip, which will be held from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. February 22nd, there will be a winter festival held from 6 to 9 p.m. It will be catered by Fuschello's. There will be a DJ and carnival games to play, and there will also be an escape room and a scavenger hunt. And the event will be for freshmen and sophomores. March 23rd is the Boosters Gift Auction, and they are looking for volunteers. See Miss York in W108 to sign up to help. April 6th, Mike Smith presentation at Saraville War Memorial High School. See Mrs. York in W108 to sign up and get the permission slip. On April 13th, the H&M Potter Auction is looking for volunteers. See Mrs. York in W108 for details. The next meeting is 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. on Wednesday, February 13th in the lecture hall.
At this time, I would like to ask Alexis Frazee to join me here at the podium. Alexis Frazee is a vibrant, intelligent, determined student who enjoys helping out her school. She is a freshman officer in the STEM Academy, played on the junior varsity tennis team this year, and always participates in SGA. Alexis is always willing to lend a helping hand or even listen to any problems you have. She is very truthful and is not afraid to speak up for what she believes. Aside from all her extracurricular activities, Alexis loves spending time with her friends and family. It is for these reasons that we have chosen Alexis Frazee for January's Unsung Hero. Congratulations.
All right, thank you, Kelsey and Hannah. At this point in time, I'd like to turn it over to Dr. Clark, report of the superintendent.
Thank you, President Giordano. And I just want to acknowledge Mr. and Mrs. Frazee. I see them in the audience, so please stand and be recognized because they couldn't do it without you. And congratulations again. All right, Happy New Year. Welcome to the January board meeting. Very, very cold night at that. And thank you to our two student representatives, Kelsey and Hannah. So since I just talked about inclement weather, I just want to remind our families, especially now, to please make sure that you are caught up in our automated system. On November 28th, we did a test of that system, and we did get a lot of feedback from our families letting us know whether or not they didn't get the call, or they didn't get the text message, or perhaps they didn't get the email. But as we move through the end of January and February and March, we never know. So if we have to close school or we have to call an early dismissal, we will use our automated system with the phone call, the text, and the email. And information will also get posted on our website as well as Twitter. And now we will transition to Students of the Month. Mr. Brandis, will you please join us? Where is Mr. Brandis? Where is Mr. Brandis? All right. Wow. All right.
Yeah, all right.
There he is. You're never not here. Are you ready for Students of the Month?
Sure.
All right.
I'm sorry. What? Oh, okay. Good evening. Thank you, everybody. I'd like to celebrate Seniors of the Month. Victoria Masika, please join us down at the podium. I'd like to congratulate Victoria and also her family who's in attendance tonight. Congratulations. So well-deserved honor. And here to celebrate her accomplishments, we're going to watch a short video. We have a new video system that we're looking to use. Good afternoon. This is Greg Brandis, principal of Lacey Township High School, and I'm here to celebrate January's Senior of the Month. Congratulations to Victoria Machewski. Congratulations. And here to celebrate her accomplishments is Jacob Serrano.
Congratulations, Tori, on winning Senior of the Month. So how does it feel to be Senior of the Month?
It was unexpected, but I'm very honored.
What activities would you say helped you succeed throughout high school?
I guess just being involved in the school in SGA and cheerleading.
What teacher would you say had the biggest impact on your high school success?
I'd say Miss Soto and Miss Taskin. Miss Soto always pushed me to do my best, and Miss Taskin was always there to help me succeed.
Hi everyone, I'm Ms. Taskin, and I'd like to start off by wishing congratulations to Tori Machewski for winning January Senior of the Month. Tori has been my cheerleading captain for the past 2 years for football cheerleading. She's also participated in both competition and winter cheerleading in the past, and this year she is a member of SGA, and she is the senior class treasurer. I can't tell you how proud we are of Tori for all of the things that she has accomplished over the past 4 years. She is wonderfully dedicated, and she is a very hard worker, and she always works really hard to make sure that she's involved in all different kinds of school events. And I can't wait to see all the amazing things that she's going to accomplish in the future. So Tori, congratulations. We are so proud of you, and I can't tell you how much of a pleasure it has been being your cheerleading coach over these 4 years. Good luck.
What qualities helped you succeed throughout high school?
Always being hardworking and trying my best.
What are you going to miss the most when you graduate?
I guess just coming to school every day and seeing the people I've seen for years. Yeah.
What are your plans after high school?
To go into nursing and get my BSN.
Congrats.
Congratulations. I'd now like to welcome Mason Waters as our Senior of the Month. Congratulations to Mason. To him and his family as well, and remarkable accomplishments. We also have another video to celebrate Mason and all he's given to Lacey Township High School. Hello, we're back to celebrate Senior of the Month, Mason Waters. Congratulations, Mason. Here to celebrate his accomplishments is John Kroll.
I'm here with February Senior of the Month, Mason Waters. Congrats, Mason.
Thanks.
So, how does it feel to be Senior of the Month?
It's kind of unexpected, but it's an honor to know that my hard work was noticed.
What activities have helped you throughout high school?
I'm involved in volleyball, and this will be my 4th season, and that's really helped me to become a team leader. And then I'm also in NHS, so that was a good learning experience to be a part of.
What teachers have had the biggest impact on your high school career?
Coach Romeo, obviously, I have him this year in APUS. Miss Soto, she helped further my knowledge in English because I wasn't really an English student, but now I really enjoy it. And then also Mr. Brada, because he led me to my career choice in ocean engineering.
Hey, I just want to say congratulations, Mason, for being Senior of the Month. After 3 years of having you in class, I'm really happy to hear that you're going on to study science, ocean engineering, and marine science. I'm really proud of you for all your hard work here at the Lacey High School, and I hope that I hear good things from when you come back and visit.
Mason, congratulations on your Student of the Month award. You are a fantastic student, not only in AP history, but you are an amazing volleyball player who's worked hard both at volleyball and at AP level history, and we cannot be prouder of you. Enjoy it. You deserve it.
What qualities have helped you throughout high school?
I think hard work and perseverance, that you really have to have it to make it, and I guess I did.
What are you going to miss most about high school here at Lacey?
I'm really going to miss being part of a team. That's my #1 thing, because I just love that team atmosphere and having a good time and being so close with my teammates.
And what are your plans ahead in the future?
I haven't really decided what college I'm going to further my career with, but I'm planning on going into ocean engineering. That's what I do now.
All right, congrats, Mason. Senior of the Month.
Thanks.
Congratulations again to both our Seniors of the Month. Well deserved. Congratulations.
All right. Good night, girls. They have lots of homework to do, they said.
Anybody else got to leave?
Didn't get to it.
See if anybody else is going to leave.
Okay, congratulations once again to Alexis, Victoria, and Mason. Fabulous, fabulous work. Lots of hard work goes into that, and it's a great accomplishment. So round of applause one more time. So this month's board agenda and the superintendent's report covers are dedicated to our Teachers of the Year. And so it's a great segue to our next presentation, because we know that student success doesn't happen magically. And it's because of our amazing teachers and our amazing support staff that really helps our students succeed. And we know that behind every successful student is this awesome teacher. And so what I'd like to do is invite our principals to come up and tell you a little bit about our 2019-2020 Teachers of the Year, starting with the Forked River School Principal, Mr. Eric Fiedler.
Good evening, Lacey Township Board of Education, Dr. Clark, and audience members. On behalf of the Forked River School, I'm honored to introduce the Forked River School's 2019-2020 Teacher of the Year, Health and Physical Education Teacher, Mrs. Lisa Swenson. Mrs. Swenson is a graduate of Bergenfield High School. She earned her undergraduate degree from the College of New Jersey, where she was a student athlete competing all 4 years on the TCNJ gymnastics team. As a lifelong learner, she later earned her master's degree in education from Marygrove College. Mrs. Swenson's teaching career began as a health and PE teacher at Fort Lee High School, and later Bergenfield Middle School, where she coached both cheer and gymnastics at the Bergenfield High School. Upon moving south to Lacey Township with her family, Mrs. Swenson was hired by the Lacey Township Board of Education 17 years ago. During her tenure here, she has taught health and PE in pre-K through 6th grade in all of our elementary schools. For the last 3 years, she has called Forked River School her home, working closely with her fellow health and PE teacher, who is here tonight, Mr. Bodingheimer, and all of the FRS staff. Partnering with community organizations, she has helped create and facilitate our Recess Marathon Club, our annual participation in the American Heart Association's athletic fundraisers, and the Lacey Food Bank collections during the holiday season. Mrs. Swenson co-directs our annual Harvest Hoedown and Field Day events. She serves as both our intergenerational club and our chorus club advisor, and she works closely with her colleagues at the Forked River School in planning our math night, family chess night, literacy fair, and our Mare STEAM night. Mrs. Swenson's passion, creativity, and dedication are boundless. She prides herself on connecting with each and every student to inspire their self-worth, confidence, and self-assurance. Mrs. Swenson is quoted as saying, "I am so proud to be an educator. I am fortunate that I get to work every day doing something absolutely I love. I am just so excited to be teaching, as excited as I was when I joined the profession in 1986. Mrs. Swenson's husband, Eric, and her son, Carl, I believe are just up the hallway. Is that right, Mrs. Swenson? Oh, Eric made it down? All right. Carl is the captain of our varsity basketball game. They are playing Jackson Liberty tonight. But on behalf of the past and present students and staff members of the Forked River School, congratulations, Mrs. Swenson, on being named the Forked River School's 2019-2020 Teacher of the Year. And at this time, I'd like to introduce Mrs. Renuska from the Cedar Creek School.
Thank you, Mr. Fiedler. Welcome to everybody. Good evening, board members, all of our guests in the audience, and congratulations to all of our teachers of the year. Well-deserved, each and every school building. At this time, I'd like to ask Mr. Brennan to join me at the podium. Run. Okay, follow Lisa's lead. Music is a science that would have us laugh and sing and dance. The quote I just shared with you reflects my thoughts about the teaching style and character of Cedar Creek's 2019-2020 Teacher of the Year, Mr. Ed Brennan. Ed is our music teacher and also our chorus director and assistant band director. It's my honor and privilege to present him to you. He's joined tonight by his two children. Emily and Gavin are here. Unfortunately, Mrs. Brennan couldn't make it tonight, but Emily and Gavin are here. Ed's a graduate of the Lacey school system, class of 1990. He has been a member of the Cedar Creek family since 1998. He's also taught 2 years prior at St. Joseph's Grade School. Before returning to Lacey. He's a graduate of the Shepherd State College and holds a Bachelor of Fine Arts with a Teacher of Music certificate. The quote I began with truly describes Mr. Brennan's classroom philosophy. I've witnessed, and from Ed's own descriptions of his daily teaching, I'll waltz to teach a meter in 3, we disco, we macarena, we hokey pokey, we teach the beat, and dance like no one's watching. He's passionate about music and shares that passion in an interactive and fun way, even inviting me into his classroom probably at least once a week. I don't make it once a week, but he invites me, and participate with the children as well, and it's a blast. The kids come out of there dancing, singing, and laughing, exactly as I described. He's passionate about music, demonstrates to the students concepts through a lot of active participation. Mr. Brennan introduced our district to the cutting-edge Quaver music program, which we now use in grades K to 5, a very interactive and technology-based music teaching tool, and the kids absolutely love it. Humor is also part of his teaching style. Mr. Brennan finds that students that are shy and maybe not at ease in the music room, and through laughter, there's a level of comfort that's reached. He also works with our special needs students, some of which are nonverbal, and he uses music to assist them in communication. To say that Ed is an active member of our faculty is an understatement. As I stated earlier, he's our chorus director, which also includes our Cedar Creek Ringers. It's our hand chime ensemble, and also created our ukulele club, which is an advanced group of students who enjoy playing the ukulele and perform with our chorus. Mr. Brennan has afforded our students many unique opportunities to perform for the public. Throughout the years, our chorus has performed for the Lakewood Blue Claws, Spring Oaks Assisted Living, the Forked River Rotary Club, out to Grounds for Sculpture in Hamilton, New Jersey, our Township Red Night Out, District Jazz Nights, and also the PNC Arts Center. Ed is also our assistant 4th grade band director and teaches several instrumental lessons. He's also been an assistant to the high school marching band and has been an advisor to our Cedar Creek Drama Club. Not only is Ed musically talented, he's very tech savvy. We rely on him in the building quite a bit for technology. He takes the lead every year to create an educational video for our school to share with students during Mare and STEAM Week. Through community outreach and on his own time, he's been able to video and share many experiences with our students from places such as the Adventure Aquarium in Camden, Jenkinson's Aquarium, the New York Aquarium, Great Adventure, and numerous beaches around the region, which I believe Mrs. Swenson also was in some of those videos when she was with us at Cedar Creek. Teachers and administration are also featured in various activities as well. Beach Day is another fun day during our Mare STEAM Week, and he takes the lead on teaching science songs and lots of fun dances for the students to sing and enjoy. He's also created videos for park testing to ease the fears for students and teachers. Mr. Brennan loves what he teaches, and I believe his lesson planning is driven by the question he asks himself about his students. What would they say if they were asked about their music class today? Congratulations to our Cedar Creek School Teacher of the Year. Well-deserved, Mr. Ed Brennan. At this time, I'd like to invite Mr. Jeff Brewer, principal of Lenoka Harbor School.
Good evening, everybody, and congratulations to all of our Teachers of the Year. I am honored to introduce Lenoka Harbor's Teacher of the Year, Mrs. Jody Hughes. You all right? Okay. Now, Jody really hates this because she hates being in the spotlight, so I'm going to enjoy every second of this. Mrs. Hughes attended William Patterson University for her undergraduate degree in elementary and special education. She has a tremendously loving and supportive family, and at this time, I would like to ask Jody's husband and all of her children to please stand up for a minute and be recognized as well. Mrs. Hughes has been employed as a full-time teacher in Lacey since 2006, instructing some of our most specialized students within our multiply handicapped program. Prior to coming to Lacey, she also worked as a children's specialized hospital as an early development specialist. Anyone who knows Jody listens to how she talks so passionately about her family and just sees what she does in her classroom, understands that that passion runs deeply into the instruction she gives her students as well. To state that Mrs. Hughes is an involved member would be an understatement. I'm sure I'm going to leave something out here in a second, Jody, but I'm going to do my best. Since 2016, she has led our participation in the Unified Games, the Young Athlete Games, our Special Olympics Games. Mrs. Hughes is also the advisor for our after-school social skills group, along with our 3rd and 4th grade Green Team clubs. Mrs. Hughes also led the efforts for our grant application from the Sustainable Program of New Jersey, where we received a $2,000 grant. We are one of 162 schools across the state to be recognized with a bronze status or greater. With those funds, we've since installed 2 water filling stations within the school and has reduced the footprint and how much we depend on plastic bottles. Jody likes to say that she just stays in the corner of her room, keeps to herself, and just does her thing with her compadres. With all due respect, that couldn't be further from the truth. In fact, the influence of her classroom just permeates throughout the school. It's understood that in Lenoka that we all have special needs. Some of us just have different needs than each other, and some of us might have a little more or a little less. But it's up to all of us to help each other meet those needs. And in doing that, we become better people. And we're not always successful, but as a staff, we try to model that and try to teach that to our students, that we're responsible for those around us. And honestly, Jody is one of the driving forces of that ideal and that principle in our building with how she incorporates us into her classroom. So it is with great pride on behalf of the entire Lenoka Harbor staff, Mrs. Kilmer and myself, that I present to you Mrs. Jody Hughes, our 2019-2020 Teacher of the Year. At this time, I'd like to bring down my colleague, Mrs. Holly Nemec.
Good evening. I'd like to say congratulations to all of our Teachers of the Year. At this time, I would like to ask Miss Randy Spexarth to come join me. On behalf of Mill Pond, I would like to honor Miss Randy Spexarth. I would like to begin by thanking Miss Spexarth and her family for being here tonight. She's joined by her husband and her father-in-law. If you guys could stand and give a wave, thank you so much for coming. Her kids are swimming. I do believe that. They are avid swimmers, and she is an avid swim mom. Yes. I would like to thank her family for sharing her with us. She is often one of the first people in the morning at Mill Pond. I know because I'm a morning person, there aren't very many of us, but Miss Spexarth is also a morning person. That being said, she greets everyone with a smile and a warm hello. Miss Spexarth serves as a special education teacher at Mill Pond, and she teaches in our multiply disabled classroom. She is so much more than an educator to the students and the staff. She's a friend and she's a champion for all students. Mrs. Spexarth is passionate and dedicated. She's been teaching for over 32 years. Big kudos for that. But when you walk in her classroom, she has the energy of a brand new teacher. Each year, she provides students with the opportunity to increase their skills in the areas of academics, social emotional learning, problem solving, and working on skills to use outside the classroom. She collaborates and communicates with families, and she works with many support staff. One of the teachers she collaborates with is someone I like to call her partner in crime, Miss Anderson. She's giving a wave. Ms. Spexarth cares for each and every one of her students. In turn, their genuine excitement and compassion for her is evident. They are so excited to share all of their successes, not just with her, but with anybody that visits the classroom. Her students demonstrate responsibility as they run the coffee shop with Ms. Anderson's class. I talk about her students because they are her heart. Even on the day it was announced that Ms. Spexarth was the Teacher of the Year, her first sentence to me was, well, what about the students? Can I get a picture with them? I want to make sure they're a part of it. Because it's always about the students in Ms. Spexarth's class. She puts them first, and she truly embodies what it means to be an educator who puts students first. Temple Grandin said, in special education, there's often too much focus placed on the deficit and not enough in the strength. But anytime you walk into Ms. Spexarth's class, it's clear that success and strength are celebrated. Ms. Spexarth helps to coordinate the Thanksgiving feast at Mill Pond, providing the students an opportunity to share in a nice meal and great conversation. And their families are a part of this as well. She focuses on strength and builds on success to springboard future learning. She collaborates with general education teachers, special area teachers, and other special education teachers to establish opportunities for her students to participate in a variety of settings. She individualizes learning for each student based on his or her need and ability level, and she challenges her students. Her students are so eager to share what they've learned. Anytime you walk into the classroom, you're met with a smile and pride. And that's because of you, Randy. I'm honored to recognize Ms. Spexarth for her dedication to the profession of education and recognize her as the Mill Pond Teacher of the Year. Thank you for making a difference in your students' lives. At this time, I'd like to invite Mr. King, the principal of the middle school.
Good evening, everyone. It gives me great pride and pleasure to once again introduce the Lacey Township Middle School Teacher of the Year. This year's selectee was easy. I will say that before we begin. There were a lot of highly qualified people on the list, but when it came down to the final vote, she won. Now, the honor of winning is going to be second place to watching her stand up here and melt. So it is with great pride that I call down Mrs. Schlagenhaft to join me at the podium. So Cheryl Schlagenhaft is a science teacher, but that's just one of her many roles. I'd like to list them all, but we want to get out of here before 10 o'clock, so I'll go over a few brief things that she does for our building. She started in the district at Mill Pond School and came to the middle school to teach science. Now, to voluntarily come to the middle school says something about her. I don't know what exactly, it says something about her. Since being in the middle school, she's been involved in everything. And that's a very universal term that a lot of people say about the teachers of the year. They're involved in everything. I mean it. She's involved in everything. Whether you want her there or not, she's going to be there. Whether she's being paid, been invited, been told not to come, she's going to be there. And it's that openness and it's that willingness to be part of everything in our school that makes her so invaluable to us. Whether it's in the classroom, where she's leading kids into the future of science, teaching the love of the subject, whether it's after school on the sports field, volunteering her time with athletics, being involved in the play, her memorable and often videotaped performances during pep rallies, her smile, which is not only infectious but never ending, her willingness to speak with students on any topic at any time, even up to her busy schedule outside of the school with her missionary work and helping those who are less fortunate. I can sum up her presence in our school very, very simply. When she came to the middle school, we weren't sure if we needed her. It is with great pride and pleasure that I can honestly say we wouldn't be the school we are without her. It's with that in mind, and for all the reasons I mentioned, that it's a very simple choice this year for the Lacey Township Middle School. Cheryl Schlagenhaft is our 2019-2020 well-deserved Teacher of the Year. It's my pleasure to introduce the principal of Lacey Township High School, Mr. Greg Brandis.
Mr. King is a tough act to follow. It is my honor, privilege, and really I'm just excited to announce the 2019-20 High School Teacher of the Year. Ms. Jen Sullivan, please come down and join me. Congratulations to her family as well, Bill, and she's joined with her two little daughters up there. Congratulations to you. Since my tenure here at the high school, have special relationships with special teachers, and Ms. Sullivan's certainly no different since I arrived. She's certainly welcomed me, the administration, and certainly supported us in all our endeavors. She's a leader, most importantly to her students, especially in her AP courses. She's not only the leader in enrollment, which says a lot about how much her students want to take her class and be part in her presence and learn from her, not just as a AP psychology teacher, but more as a role model. but she's also a leader in our school's test scores. She really, at points, can carry us, and if you do and you follow our test scores, she really leads the way in the department and in across the board in subject areas in our AP test scores. So both emotionally and educationally for our students, she's certainly leading the way in AP. When we go to her as a leader of the building, I asked her beyond her knowledge in advanced placement, I asked her to really have our OCC Academy evolve. And I often find her saying, yes, how can I help? How can I make the high school improve? And she certainly took that endeavor on with open arms, not only with teaching AP, teaching our Lacey College Academy at the junior level, but she also teaching our Lacey College Academy at our senior level. So when I look at her being Teacher of the Year, I certainly thought it was a wonderful recommendation, but our staff also thought it was a remarkable recommendation. We have a committee we put together. Staff nominate people. We talk about it in the committee, and our staff overwhelmingly said, yes, she is certainly a remarkable candidate for Teacher of the Year. And what I find most remarkable, Ms. Sullivan is an experienced teacher, and we find sometimes our experienced teacher, our veteran teachers, find themselves spending a lot of time in the classroom, which all our teachers do, but maybe not as much time outside the classroom. But I find that the years I've been here and that I've looked back upon, she is growing in the time that she spends outside the classroom as a SG advisor and all the remarkable things that she does and attends outside. And it really is a remarkable attribute of someone who's leading our young staff members or less experienced staff members. And I truly greatly appreciate that. And I know our younger staff or less experienced staff look up to that as well. So thank you for that. And that's time away from your family that we look at. I also truly appreciate the time that we spend together talking about family, talking about all that's great at the high school, and that's one of our other great attributes. I do go to her along with staff and her students to find out what's best for our school climate, and she always offers a confident, strong valued opinion on what's best for Lacey High School. So, I am proud to be able to introduce, on behalf of the administration, the staff, and our students, our 2019-2020 Teacher of the Year, Ms. Sullivan. Congratulations.
One more picture. Can I get all of our Teachers of the Year up here real quick? All 6 of you?
Good night.
We need a group shot. You're in.
I'm always in. Thank you. Excuse me. No, sir. You do it. Yep. Or not.
Just let them settle down a little bit, and then I'll keep going.
You have more. Good night.
Good night.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Congratulations. Good night. All right, congratulations once again to our Teachers of the Year. Excellent presentations by our administrators as well. All right, changing gears. Last week, the district sent a notification to our families from the Lacey Education Foundation asking for volunteers. We've been talking about the LEF for quite some time. And as you can see from what's displayed on our screen, we have a slide up on our screen about the Lacey Education Foundation, and then there's also a letter that speaks to a meeting that the Education Foundation is having on January 31st at 7 o'clock at the Mill Pond School. So I'm getting the word out, encouraging anyone and everyone who can attend to please join us. I will be at the meeting. I know President Giordano will be at the meeting as well. And the more people we can get involved in this amazing endeavor, the better. So kudos to those individuals who've been working so hard on the LEF. And I know Mr. Palladino is out there in the audience. Mrs. DeSenza worked very hard. Mrs. McAvoy, Cindy, her last name just went right out of my head. Gina, help me with her last name. Sabatelli.
And Mr. Biava.
And Mr. Biavia. So yeah, lots of hard work. They can't do it alone, so they need your help. So please join us on the 31st.
And our newest trustee is Carol McKelvey.
Carol McKelvey, you're right, yes. And I believe her name is on the letter that is posted on our website. So again, January 31st, 7 p.m. at the Mill Pond School. Please join us. All right, changing gears again. Last Wednesday, the district hosted a parent information night to talk about district safety and security protocols. So thank you to all of our parents who came that night. Thank you to our administration for putting together that presentation. Thank you to our board members who were in attendance. We talked a lot about security that night. Mainly, we talked about the security vestibules that are going to begin construction in the spring, and we also talked about ALICE protocols. And so by way of summary, ALICE stands for Alert, Lockdown, Inform, Counter, and Evacuate, and are options that are intended to enhance the lockdown procedures that we already have in place. One of the things that I talked about at the beginning of the presentation is that ALICE, even though it's an acronym and it spells the word ALICE, it is not intended to be linear or sequential. It is not the intent. Instead, or rather I should say, the purpose of ALICE, again, is to enhance protocols, and it's designed to be used at any given time that is appropriate based on the situation that any individual should find themselves in. And we hope that, of course, that never happens here in Lacey Township, but we are always taking steps to ensure the safety of our students. We are working on putting the presentation up on our website along with an extensive frequently asked questions document. And we're using a lot of the questions that were asked that evening. We're putting the questions up on the website in addition to the responses, and then we're adding to that as well. An additional point that I wanted to make about safety and security is to point out how much we have accomplished in a short amount of time, keeping in mind the safety of our students and our staff and our school community. In the fall of 2013, we hired 2 armed security safety officers who are still with us, still employed by us, still working with us. Mr. Carl Bullock and Mr. Lou Brignola are assigned to the Lenoka Harbor School and Forked River Schools, respectively. Last summer, we certified 6 administrators as ALICE trainers. During the 2017-2018 school year, we trained well over 700 staff members in ALICE protocols, and this included hands-on training. It was no small feat, but we got it done. This past September, in collaboration with the Lacey Township Police Department, the Township Committee, and the Lacey Township Board of Education, we hired 3 armed Class 3 officers. Officer Santos, who was assigned to the middle school, Officer Caputo, who was assigned to the high school, and Officer Johnson, who is assigned to the Mill Pond School and Cedar Creek. We have taken active measures to improve our visitor management protocols, and we continue to work on those on an annual basis. Since the last school year, the requirement that all classroom doors are locked has been implemented throughout the day, and this practice will continue. The installation of security vestibules is scheduled, like I said, to begin sometime in the spring, and you will notice that on tonight's agenda, there are items related to this project. And finally, in the next few months, and one of the things that we covered last Wednesday is the next step that we're going to take, and that is to begin training all of our students on ALICE protocols. We've taken a lot of time to meet and talk about what is most appropriate, what is most developmentally appropriate, what is most age appropriate. And it is a topic, like I said, that we've been talking about for quite some time, and we hope to begin that transition, training our students early spring, early to mid-spring. And we want to ensure that our parents are informed. We certainly want to involve our teachers in that collaboration and make sure that we are all on the same page before we take the next step. So that's a lot that we've accomplished in a short amount of time. And just because we've accomplished those things does not mean that the topic of safety and security is a topic that we're done talking about. It's a topic that we'll continue to talk about and improve the practices that we have in place to make those practices even stronger and even better. That concludes my comments. President Giordano, thank you for the opportunity to present.
Thank you, Superintendent Clark. At this time, I'd like to open the floor to public comment. Going once. Seeing none, I will move on to board member comment. And actually, we'll start with you, Ms. DeSenza. If you could, before your comments, read off the curriculum minutes. We're just gonna review.
I'm offline, and I can't access anything right now except my comment. I'm sorry.
Okay.
All right, do you want to?
I have them.
Okay, so Dr. Clark will.
Yeah, start with the committee report
Yep.
and
Yeah.
then
I'm
my
good with
comment.
that.
Sure.
All right.
Otherwise, I would have been glad to do it.
And just to mention, Mrs. Downing is the curriculum
Chair,
chair,
and
but
she's
right,
not with us, is
right, couldn't. She had a family emergency to attend to. So I'll briefly go through the agenda items that we covered. We first talked about the AP steering and articulation committee meetings that have been taking place since the beginning of January. It's a collaboration project that we're working on throughout all districts in Ocean County. It's been going tremendously well, and we've had great representation. I also shared with the curriculum committee the presentation that we presented last Wednesday for our school safety and security parent information night. I also shared with the committee a preview of a training video that we are going to be training our 5th through 12th grade students with. So Jeremy Merman, Mr. Merman, and his telecom students are going to be working on producing that video, and I have no doubt in my mind that it's going to be excellent. I also talked about an ed camp that we had 2 Saturdays ago. To say that it was a success is an understatement. I see Mrs. Nemec is beaming over there because I know she feels the same way. But I did talk a little bit with the committee about what ed camp is and how excited we were to host. We talked about 5 out-of-state travel trips. Most of them were educational excursions for our after-school enrichment program. And as far as community relations go, under that category, I just reiterated 2 projects that I am working on with Mr. Merman, and that is Lacey Minute which we hope to be able to start at our February board meeting. That's going to highlight all of the excellent and phenomenal things that are going on in Lacey. And the second one is something that Mrs. McAvoy, who I see up in the audience as well, has done when she was a board member, and I hope to continue the spotlight on our graduates, but we're going to take it a step further and do it in video form, because we all know how excited kids are to hold that phone up and do that selfie or that selfie video. So 2 great projects that we hope to kick off in February and in April, and I know, again, Mr. Merman's going to do a great job. And then last but not least, 2 more things. I just shared with the board that we have a PRC meeting coming up on Monday, January 28th. And we also took a look at a draft of the school calendar for the 2019-2020 school year. And that was the agenda.
Great, thank you.
All right.
Board Member Riggs, policy comments.
It was a light, hold on. So we had a light month in policy. There's only 2 first reads on here. Practice and preseason heat acclimation for interscholastic athletics, and a CUSAC one. That's all we have, but don't worry, next month we've got 22 of them here. Dr. Clark just gave us a stack, so next month we'll have a whole lot more to talk about. And there was one other thing, but just needed a little bit more editing too. So that's pretty much it for policy, all we have this month. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Riggs. Vice President Morandi, Finance Chair.
Sure. Okay. January 10th was our meeting. It was attended by Mr. Senza, President Giordano, and myself. A couple of things that we discussed is on the agenda today. The bid for the security vestibules. We awarded the contract. Like I said, it's a part of the resolution, so I'm not going to get too far into it, but we had a few contracts, and we awarded one of the companies, Duell Building and Restoration, for that contract. Also, we discussed the Mill Pond gym floor. Dr. Clark touched on it a little. We're starting in the spring. We should have everything done by the beginning of the school year next year. That was really it. The other concern was our budget. Ongoing talks. We're going to be having conversations frequently over the next couple of months with Mr. DeGeorge and the Finance Committee. So hopefully we get everything worked out, and there won't be too many problems. So that's all.
All right. Thank you, Vice President Morandi. Now on to board member comments. Ms. DeSenza.
Thank you. I'd like to welcome Board Member Horvath to your very first business meeting. I hope you had a good weekend at NJSBA orientation, and I'm sure you're a little bit overwhelmed tonight. Congratulations to all of our Teachers of the Year. Thank you for all you do, all you have done, and all you will do. And congratulations to our Seniors of the Month, Mason and Victoria, and our unsung hero, Alexis Frazee. On Thursday, January 10th, I attended a winter band concert at the Forked River School at 2 p.m., and then at 5 p.m., as Mr. Morandi mentioned, we had our Finance Committee meeting. And then after that meeting, I went over to the wrestling match at the high school at 6:30. It was my first time ever attending a wrestling match. It was very interesting. On Saturday, January 12th, was the Fisherman's Flea Market at the high school. This event gets bigger and better every year. Kudos to the Fishing Club for putting this fundraiser together. And then I went to Lacey's first ever Ed Camp at Mill Pond School. I learned about STEM projects for elementary students. I wish I could personally thank all the presenters and teachers that made this unique learning and professional development experience possible for our staff at no cost. It was great. On Monday night, January 14th, I attended the planning board meeting, as I've been trying to do for many years. Wednesday night, January 16th, was the safety and security meeting for parents at the high school. And Dr. Clark just went over a few points from that. And this district is spending a lot of money to create the secure vestibules to protect all 6 buildings. The bids went out, and the contract for this project is awarded on tonight's agenda. And another large project will soon follow. If anyone's read the agenda in advance, you may have noticed the Mill Pond gym floor will be replaced, and we ask for everyone's patience and understanding during these construction projects. Thursday, January 17th, was a middle school chorus and band concert at the high school. The students were so professional. The music selections were excellent. Our music teachers are the best. Thank you to all the parents because of the time and expense involved with having a student in the band and chorus programs. On Friday, January 18th, I made time for a bill and voucher review. For the public's knowledge, this is a very time-intensive endeavor, but I need to see the bills that I'm approving each month, and I learn a lot. Such as the JCP&L bills for December 2018 were approximately $45,000. So despite having huge solar projects on the buildings, we still have a substantial bill. So flip off those light switches when something is not in use. It's everyone's job to conserve energy. On January 15th, another payment was made on the solar bond, $1,408,287.50, of which $238,287.50 was the interest portion of that payment. It's item 2 on the agenda tonight, debt service. Friday evening, January 18th, I was appointed by the New Jersey School Board Association Board of Directors to the State Legislative Committee, and I will begin my service on March 2nd. This weekend, I leave to go to Washington, D.C. for the National School Board Association Advocacy Conference, January 27th through the 29th, and my apologies for missing any events or meetings while I'm away. The next board business meeting will also be on a Tuesday night, February 19th, and thank you to all in attendance here tonight. Mr. Giordano?
Thank you, Mrs. DeSenza. I'll head down the other end. Mr. Horvath.
First of all, I'd like to congratulate our teachers of the year. Thank you again for all that you do for us. Also, congratulations to our unsung hero and her parents, and to our seniors of the month and their parents for a wonderful job. 2 weeks ago, I attended our required ed training. Some of you may not know this, but we're very unique here in the Board of Education in New Jersey. I certainly didn't know it, but we're the only elected officials that are required to attend training to be able to actually serve our position. So I went there and wasn't sure what to expect, but the School Board Association did an excellent job and gave a lot of information I brought back to fellow board members here, and hopefully will enhance the experience for everybody. Thank you.
Frank, I got a question. Did Mr. DeGeorge make the meeting this weekend?
Mr. DeGeorge was a speaker at the meeting, did an excellent job, and I can't tell you the number of people who gave me just wonderful comments about him, and were kind of jealous of us for having such a great business administrator, and I'd say at least 25 people made a point of telling me that. So congratulations and thank you, Mr. DeGeorge.
Yeah, unfortunately, when I went that year, it snowed, so he didn't make it. So I missed out on that great speech.
I think he just liked to be there when I was there more, that's all.
That's probably.
You guys find it out.
I know that sounded
I'm
like
sure
a bit
you-
of a joke, but he is actually a celebrity out there. They love it when he comes up on stage.
I'm sure you worked out the financial details of where to send the check to Mr. Riggs.
Capital D-E, capital G.
I really don't have too much this month. Same thing for those teachers of the year. Outstanding job. Thanks everybody for everything you do. Our seniors of the month, Mason and Victoria, and Alexis, our unsung hero. And everybody, if you could, that LEF, do everything you could to help them out. Volunteer or whatever they need. They really, you know, they do a great thing, and it's a lot of work. It's only a couple people involved in it right now, so like they're saying, if that thing can explode, that would be awesome. And nice to see a bunch of friendly faces out there tonight, too. Glad you all came back. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Riggs. Mr. DeBlas.
Yeah, huge congratulations to the teacher of the year. It was, I don't know, man, it was really awesome to watch it. No, I'm on. Been on, pal, been on. Yeah, and it was really great to see. And, you know, I think appreciation is key in every aspect of life, and to show them appreciation, you know, it was really great. And, you know, I wish every single teacher could be appreciated like that every day, because we need you. We really, really need you, and so do our kids. And my kids, you know, they attend this district, and it was just you know, I felt myself literally like almost getting emotional watching these teachers be praised the way they were, because I think it's really awesome. So huge congrats to them. You're so appreciated. You're not here, so you're probably not going to hear me saying it, but yeah, you're awesome. And congratulations to the Students of the Month, and the Unsung Hero, and thank you. That's it.
Thank you, Mr. DeBlas. Vice President Morandi.
Thank you. Unsung Hero and Students of the Month, I'd like to congratulate. Congratulations to all Teachers of the Year, and I'd like to thank the principals of all the schools. You had some great picks this year. I'd like to thank the Education Foundation. I think this is going to be very successful. I also we have a couple gentlemen in the audience from Seabreeze community. Very involved. They come to all the meetings. They give us a lot of advice. We appreciate all your help that you do for us too. So with that, Happy New Year. I missed the, unfortunately, I was in Florida for the reorg meeting, but I saw the meeting on the replay, so it was a nice meeting, quick. But I appreciate everything, and thank you, President. That's all I have.
Thank you, Vice President Morandi. All right, moving on. Seniors of the Month, Alexis and Victoria and Mason. Congratulations on jobs well done. It's always nice when you get to honor teachers, and I think Mr. DeBlas just, said it best. Tonight's about the creme de la creme, or the top tier of teachers, but I think every teacher in this district at some point in time every day does things where they go above and beyond. So really to all our teachers, keep up the great work, because you're the spokes in the wheel that keep this thing moving. So thank you very much. Lacey Education Foundation, you guys keep doing the great job that you're doing. You have a meeting coming up on the 31st. I'll be at that. Really important work that you do. So I'm really excited to see what you guys can accomplish, and I look forward to attending that meeting with you on the 31st. Fisherman's Flea Market. I was amazed when I walked in how many people were here, how many vendors were here. Both parking lots at one point were filled up. And it's a tremendous fundraiser for the school district. And kudos to the Fisherman's Club, and I think that's Mr. Merman, Jeremy Merman. Just a fantastic job that he does with his team putting this together. So congrats to him. And with that, I will close my remarks and move on to new business.
Yes, sir.
All right. A, new business number 1 through 21.
Motion?
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Horvath?
Yes.
Mrs. DeSenza?
Yes on all, except I have to abstain on 953, 797, and nay on items 953, 805, and 953, 579 under item 2, list of bills.
Thank you. Mr. Riggs?
Yes.
Mr. DeBlas?
Yes.
Mr. Morandi?
Yes.
Mr. Giordano?
Yes. B, donations.
Move.
Second?
Roll call.
Mr. Horvath?
Yes.
Mrs. DeSenza?
Yes, and thank you.
Mr. Riggs?
Yes, and thank you very much.
Mr. Riggs, do you want to abstain from a portion?
I thought that was on D.
Is it on D?
All right.
Is it on D?
I thought it was on D, but
Okay.
I'll abstain now if you want. I'll abstain then, too.
He's very abstaining, isn't he?
It's item
Abstaining
D.
guy. That's what I like about you. Mr. DeBlas?
Yes.
Mr. Morandi?
Yes.
Mr. Giordano?
Yes. And thank you.
You're welcome.
C, programs and curriculum.
Motion?
Second.
Mr. Horvath?
Yes.
Mrs. DeSenza?
Yes.
Mr. Riggs?
Yes.
Mr. DeBlas?
Yes.
Mr. Morandi?
Yes.
Mr. Giordano?
Yes.
Motion to carry.
D, professional days and workshops.
Motion?
I'll second.
Roll call.
Mr. Horvath? Yes. Mrs. DeSenza?
Yes, and abstain on self, item 4.
Mr. Riggs?
Yes, and I'm going to abstain on self, number 3.
Mr. DeBlas?
Yes.
Mr. Morandi?
Yes.
Mr. Giordano?
Yes.
Motion's carried.
E, certificated personnel, 1 through 14.
Motion.
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Horvath?
Yes.
Mrs. DeSenza?
Yes.
Mr. Riggs?
Sure. Yes.
Mr. DeBlas?
Yes.
Mr. Morandi?
Yes.
Mr. Giordano?
Yes.
Motion's carried.
F, non-certificated personnel, 1 through 7.
That's it, huh?
Motion.
You can second this one.
Second.
Roll.
Mr. Horvath?
Yes.
Mrs. DeSenza?
Yes.
Mr. Riggs?
Yes.
Mr. DeBlas?
Yes.
Mr. Morandi?
Yes, and congratulations on the retirements.
Mr. Giordano?
Yes, and congratulations. Any additions, walk-ons, anything for
sir.
Mr. DeGeorge?
No, sir.
Other than congratulations for your wonderful performance at school board?
Oh, boy.
With that, I
Motion
will
for adjournment?
motion for adjournment.
Motion.
Second.
Meeting adjourned. There you go.
And if you want to log out of this, just hold down the power.